Hello.
Hello.
I am Nikki Norlock, and I am back with yet another BeaFibroFeenxRising Truth Talk. Today we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Heidi Michelle, and she is the founder and owner of Dragonfly Yoga. And basically what she is she's a traveling yogini, which is really cool. You go around the world and you do yoga workshops.
I do.
That's so cool.
Yeah, really lucky.
Yeah. It's a good gig, what you got going on.
Yeah.
So today we are filming in the, oh my goodness,
Danyasa Yoga Studio.
Danyasa Yoga Studio. I
Lot to
can't get
remember.
the word right, but there I go again. Danyasa Yoga Studio in Dominical Uvita, Costa Rica. Because yes, I'm still here. It's still warm. I'm still in love with the heat. And it's very warm up here in the studio today. So Heidi and I actually met by accident. Having
Nothing is by accident.
Well, of course, right. A little synchro-mystic healing journey going on. But we were at the Road Check in Uvita.
Yep.
Got to give them a shout out for their amazing sandwiches.
Yep.
And we just got to talking, and we got to talking about my healing journey and your journey as a yoga instructor traveling around, and we got to thinking, how cool would it be if we could find a way to marry this idea of yoga and fibromyalgia healing, health and wellness, which, as far as I know, may have been done, but I haven't heard much about it, because usually when you say yoga to a fibro patient, they're like, no.
Yeah. I can imagine.
It's very, very
I can
scary.
imagine, yeah.
So you took some time, and we spent a few, actually, I guess maybe a couple of hours together 2 days ago.
Yep.
And you learned about the disease and how it affects the body, and then you worked out a routine. I did it, didn't die, and actually managed to get through the next day without hurting too much. And here we are again today, so we can talk about yoga for fibromyalgia, what yoga is, how it can help, and then we're going to walk you guys through the routine that she's put together. And this can be done even on your worst days, because yes, I get it, there are days when you don't want to get up. Well, actually, it's not that you don't want to get up, you really want to get up, but you can't get up, hurts too much. This stuff can be done on your back.
Yeah.
So where do we start? Okay, I guess the first thing that I want to start with is we were talking about how yoga affects muscles. So I want to, for anybody watching, if you're going to be doing any kind of physical exertion with your muscles, I really want you to pay attention to your food intake, especially for people with fibromyalgia, which is something that I learned from my naturopath, is that the muscles for a fibro patient tend to make more lactic acid than a normal person's muscles, right? So like when you do the dishes or shower, apparently your muscles as a fibro person are going to make as much lactic acid as a high performance athlete who's in the middle of training.
Right.
You need to eat like that athlete eats in order to counter the effects of lactic acid. So your warm-up periods, your cool-down periods are really important, and your food intake, protein, and minerals. So we're going to cover that diet stuff a little later on in a video series, but if you're going to be doing this stuff, you need to research what's important food-wise. Okay?
And lots of water.
Yes. Oh my
Always
goodness.
lots of water, before and after.
Tons of water. Absolutely. So one of the things I learned
Tell me.
was breathing. You
Yeah.
taught me. Here's the truth about yoga. It's not so much about getting a tighter ass. It's about getting your head out of it. Who knew? You taught me how important breathing was, and how that ties in with yoga. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'd love to.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I think, as we've talked about, so many people have this misunderstanding about what yoga actually is. We see a lot of pictures of really amazing people, really healthy bodies doing these incredible postures, and so I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding that yoga is about the physical body. solely about the physical body. And what I really want all of you to know is that yoga is so much more than that. Yoga is a series of practices. It's a toolbox of practices that are really designed to bring us into health. And as you know so well, health does not only happen in the body.
Oh no,
right?
Not even close.
Right. And so what we're really working on is the mind, mostly in yoga when we're deeper into the practices. So when I say that yoga can be done on your back, yes, yoga can be done on your head, on your back, on the toilet, in the at the beach, anywhere we are. Our own peace of mind and healthy body and mind are only a breath away, right? And so one of the areas of yoga, one of the 8 limbs of yoga, one is asana, the physical practice, the postures that we'll go through. One is breath work. Another out of the 8 is meditation, and it goes on. There are moral practices, ethical practices as well. So this is a slice of what yoga is, the physical practices. And from what I've read and understand, what I'm understanding about fibromyalgia is that some consider it, and I think you've had this experience, that it's very much a psychological, or affected by our psychology, affected by the stressors in our lives.
Absolutely. It is a very real physical condition that is caused in part by psychological stressors. Absolutely, you're bang on. And it needs to have, just like the different limbs of the yoga, they need all those different elements to come together to form a whole practice. Treating fibromyalgia naturally requires a balance between emotional, mental, diet, environmental, all of these different elements come into play. And I think that's why yoga actually could be so beneficial for people with fibro. And it's just maybe something that we haven't really thought of much as being attainable. Because like you said, I mean, we see those postures and, girl, you look great, but the way my body works, I mean, yoga has been one of the scariest things for me to contemplate. And I work in the health and wellness industry with like tons of healers, and they're always like, you need to try yoga. And I'm always, no.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people feel that way, a lot of people feel that way. And what I want to tell you and all of you is that you're not alone in the stressors and stresses that you feel in your body. You have a physical manifestation of what many of us feel. It is normal in today's modern world to feel stress. It is normal to feel anxiety and depression. I do, and I have. And that's what drove me to yoga. And while that is all very normal, it's not natural.
And that's the key.
It's not natural.
It's not natural.
Right.
And we don't want people thinking that it is natural and that they have to live that way.
Exactly.
And that's what yoga and this journey that I'm on is about. And we're not in any way taking away from the very real experiences that these people with fibro have physically. I get it. I've had it for years. The pain is debilitating. It affects your life, your relationships, your job, your everything. It literally steals your life from you. But I'm here today with you to prove, because you can manage this disease and you can get your life back. You have to take control of your health. And that's why we're working today with Michelle. Now we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, with our second in the video series. We're going to get Michelle to talk.
Heidi,
Michelle. Okay. 2 names, it's okay. Fibro. No, I don't have it. We're going to talk to her a little bit about the breathing, and hopefully you can talk to us about what the breathing is all about and how that can be integrated into their day-to-day routines. And we'll be right back.